Hey fragrance friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you're joining me. My name is Hayley and I review fragrances. So in today's video, I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the best rose fragrances in my collection. Now, not all rose fragrances are created equally. You may feel like you don't enjoy a rose fragrance as an example, but I am sure there is something for everyone here because I have got everything from rose ouds, very strong, very long lasting, to soft ethereal rose fragrances, more gourmand rose fragrances, or fragrances that just have a touch of rose in them. So I guess without further ado, let's get started. I'm not going to be doing full-blown reviews because I'm just going to speed go through some of these, but these are some of my top rose fragrance recommendations. First up, what do we want to talk about? I'm going to talk about this one actually, because this is such an underrated gem. It is from the brand Aerin and it is called Rose Cacao. Now this to me smells like rose jam. So a very jammy rose with a dusting of cacao powder on top. It is beautiful and delicious at the same time. So romantic. This is exactly the type of rose fragrance that I used to really enjoy and wear all the time. It's what got me into loving fragrance in the first place. So yeah, I'm gonna highly recommend this one. And look at the packaging. So cute. So if you've not checked out this one or any of the Aerin fragrances, I would highly recommend checking them out if you can, because they have some great fragrances actually. Next up, okay, let's do Rose Cherie by Guerlain. Now, this is more of a traditional rose fragrance that's very light, pretty, and ethereal. This to me smells a little bit like rose water. It is soft, feminine, slightly musky. There's a little bit of citrus in the opening. It smells very traditional rose in a way, but as with all Guerlain fragrances, they just make it perfection. But if that is not your vibe, maybe check out this one instead from Guerlain. This is called Oud Nude. Now, you may look at the notes and not immediately think of it as a rose fragrance, but there is definitely rose in here, but this is a sweeter take on rose. To me, this has this almondy bakewell feel about it. I don't know if you've ever eaten a cherry bakewell or like marzipan. So imagine a cherry bakewell, swap out the cherry and pop in some rose jam. That is what this reminds me of. It's a very almondy fragrance. It's sweet, it's decadent, very feminine, and it's an underrated gem from Guerlain, in my opinion. I don't see many people talking about this, and I think it is phenomenal. Next up, let's do Manakara. Now, the packaging leaves a lot to be desired. It is, yeah, not great for the price point, but I do love the perfume inside. So this is a lychee rose fragrance. Now, to me, I actually pick out the lychee a little bit more than the rose. The lychee smells like lychee syrup, and then you have a powdery rose in the background. It is beautiful, super addictive, and my favorite lychee fragrance. So if you've never tried this and you like lychee and you like rose, this is one I would urge you to get a sample of. Okay, next up is Infinity by Elyon Dubai. Now, this smells like Dubai to me. If you've ever been to Dubai and you've been into the malls, there is this very familiar kind of deep, sensual, spicy rose smell. So think rose and saffron or rose and oud. This actually has some amber in the base. I think there's even some blackberry in here. Now, this is one of the longest lasting fragrances in my entire collection. Not just long lasting rose, but longest lasting of all of my fragrances. You're going to get 12 hours plus, but it smells phenomenal. You have to like your more rich, deep rose fragrances to enjoy this one. But if you are looking for a spicy, sexy date night rose fragrance, this is the one that I would urge you to try. And speaking of long-lasting rose fragrances, I'm also going to recommend Mansa by Pernoire. Now, this is another underrated gem. In a similar-ish realm to Infinity, this one is a little bit more expensive though. This is a rose oud. Again, it has a spicy kick in here. It also has some blackberry in here, so they definitely share similarities. But I would say this one's more smoky, more dense. It's a little bit more difficult to wear compared to Infinity. Way more unisex. I would say Infinity leans a little bit more femme. This leans unisex. But if you like a smoky rose oud, Mansa by Pernoire. Great longevity, great projection. One of my old favorites is Atomic Rose by Initio. This was actually my first Initio fragrance in my collection, I think. And this was around the time that I really loved Delina. But I would say this is the sexier take on Delina. This is a spicy rose fragrance. And when I say spicy, I mean pink, pepper, and rose. So if you've ever smelled Delina, imagine that DNA, but add in that rich pink pepper. It's decadent, it's sexy. I still love this fragrance. It's one of the best rose fragrances out there. In my opinion, I love it, especially for a more like date night occasion, a special occasion. So many rose fragrances. This is very difficult. Next up, another underrated gem, Lettre de Pushka by Eladaria. Now this is a very sweet, decadent rose fragrance that's also quite spicy and quite complex. It's really hard to pinpoint what this smells similar to, but it is incredible. It reminds me in a way, and only in a way, of Jardins de Misva by Nuit Nomade, but this is richer, more complex, more decadent. It has this kind of almost Middle Eastern smell to it, but with this sweet kind of decadent date vibe. Like when I say date, I mean like sticky dates, mixed in with a jammy rose and a saffron. Phenomenal, underrated, recommend getting a sample of it if you love a rose fragrance. It is so incredibly special. Next up, Le Rose by Louboutin. How could I not include this one? Because it went incredibly viral this year. This packaging is absolutely insane. Like, I think it looks kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm not sure about it. But Le Rose smells like, to me, a very, very sexy rose cherry spicy fragrance. Again, date night appropriate. It's quite mysterious. It's definitely a head turner. It will get compliments too. And if you like rose and you like cherry, this is one of the best out there. And when people come to my house and smell my fragrances, this always seems to be a bit of a fan favorite. Guidance 46. Most of you know this one by now. It's polarizing, but it is rose, but there's so much more going on. You've got pear, you've got hazelnut, it's creamy, it's a little bit musky. I'm not gonna stick on that one because I'm sure many of you have tried it. Next up is Eladaria by Creed. Now this leans more into the watery, dewy, fresh and pretty rose. Similar in a way to Rose Cherie by Guerlain. This one smells a little bit more like Turkish Delight to my nose. I think this would make such a gorgeous bridal scent. It is more traditional. It's not going to blow everyone away, but it has been done to perfection. So think a dewy rose water with a musky dry down. So, so pretty. I'm gonna end this here. Do you want to see the part 2 to this? Because I've definitely got at least half of the fragrances to still go through, but I would love to know your favorite rose fragrances. Please do let me know down in the comments below. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope to see you in a future video to come. Thank you and goodbye.